Hey Danny Boyle here, founder of Songwriters International, and I want to share with you the one songwriting tip, the one songwriting trick, technique, however you wish to word it, that transformed the way that I write songs every single day, allowing me not only to write better songs to a higher quality with a better story, better lyrics, but just made the entire process far easier. And it's not in the songwriting process itself. So it's not when you actually go to write a song, it's the planning and preparation that is put in to the songwriting. And I want to share that with you so that you can actually implement the same strategy that I use every time I write a song into your writing to make the entire process far easier. So let's get going. So before I actually go into what the planning and preparation stage is, I want to give some everyday scenarios just for you to fully understand this, which will help us when we actually dive into this. So let's suppose you were driving your car today 100 miles from your current location. So you were going to drive somewhere 100 miles away. What would be the first thing you would do? Well, you would go on your phone or you would get a map out and you would plan out that journey. Okay, your map would plan out that you need to go 50 miles, then you need to turn left and you need to turn right. That is planning and preparing for the journey. Okay, so before you even set off on the road, you plan and prepare. Let's give another scenario regarding food. If you were going to cook food, you would plan and prepare all of the ingredients out, ready to actually cook the food. Songwriting is no different to our everyday life, in that we are going to fundamentally do the same thing. We are going to plan and prepare the song so that when we actually go to take the action of songwriting, it's going to make the entire process easier because we know where we want to go, what we want to say. Writer's block is no longer a thing, okay? Because that's just when you don't know what you want to say. It's the same scenario as scenario one. If you're driving a car and you don't have that plan and preparation, you don't have the journey, you're going to get lost. The same way that if you were cooking food, you didn't plan and prepare everything out, what would happen? It would become a bit of a mess and you would get stuck and you'd probably get somewhat frustrated. And that's what's happening for a lot of songwriters in the songwriting process. They get stuck, frustrated, overwhelmed. All of those are the things that happen because they haven't put the work in at the beginning. So I want to share with you how I go about it, how long it typically takes, and the benefits of doing this. So the first step is I typically start with an idea, and that could be a song title. So it could be, a few words, or it could be a short little paragraph, okay, but nothing too much, not like a full song. I don't start on chords, I don't start with melody typically. I will start with a song title. Okay, from there I will then plan out the song. I will ask myself, what is this about? What is the song actually trying to convey? What is the message? Is it that boy meets girl and they fall in love happily ever after, right? Just to give a very simple scenario. Is it that your childhood friend is actually the one that you've always loved and you're gonna unravel that story for the listener? Be clear and concise on the story before you write it. Because what will happen is you'll go into the songwriting process, have a general idea, but just go anywhere and everywhere with it, which is great because you might land on a golden nugget, but you might also end up in a ditch, right? Quite literally. So you don't want that uncertainty. You want consistency. When you're writing songs every single day, you need a consistent process that is going to get you a song out at the end to the highest level. And that's why we plan and prepare. So we get a song title. We figure out what is the point of the song, what is the message, what is it we're trying to convey to our listeners. Then from there is we then dissect the song section by section. Any of my students that I've worked with will tell you this is how I actually do it. So I figure out the point of the song, the overarching message. From there, I will then say, well, what is verse 1 trying to say to the bigger story? What is the pre-chorus saying that also is continuing the story? What is the chorus saying, right? So let's give a scenario that the song is about boy meets girl, okay? Super, super simple. Verse 1, okay, is possibly where did they meet? They've met in a bar on a Friday night at 9 o'clock at night, right? Like, you are getting clear. Chorus is then saying, you're the only one I've ever loved, and so on. Verse 2 is that they actually break up 5 months after they got together. whatever it might be, right? But we now have an idea to what each section is trying to say, rather than just picking up a guitar and hoping that we're going to get a song out. We are breaking it out section by section, knowing that we're now going this direction, we're going this direction, and we know that when we get stuck and we're stuck at a lyric and we're thinking, what do we want to say? We go back and we look at what we've actually written that the story is about. The amount of times that I do it, the amount of times where I'll just hit a little bit of a wall and I go, okay, what do I need to say? I'm saying this. And then I'll go back into the writing process and then I keep moving forwards. Now, typically I will spend somewhere between 10 to 20 minutes on this process. I don't spend too long on it personally. It's just for me to have a guide, okay? Figuring out the points and the key messages so I know where I'm taking the song. But no more than 10 to 20 minutes. If you want to take longer and you want to be really, really precise because you're writing a really powerful song, that the message is everything, then that's absolutely fine. Really knuckle down on that. But if not, and you're just writing a song for a brief that is a general love song, then you can, just spend that 10 to 20 minutes really getting it down and moving into the writing process. And then from there, do whatever you want to do. If you want to go on the piano, you want to go on the guitar, you want to try melody, you want a structure, like whatever it might be that you then do, go and do it. But the first stage, plan, prepare, then write. Don't write before you've planned and prepared, because that's like getting in the car without figuring out where you're driving to. That's like going to cook food tonight without preparing what it is you're actually cooking. Never a good idea, because it'll be a bit of a mess, or you'll end up in a ditch or somewhere you don't want to end up. Okay? Plan out your song, figure out the story, tell the message, it'll be far easier. And my pro tip for you on this is, when you are not songwriting, go and find ideas. Go on the internet, look at headline news, look at social media, and get ideas and then store them into your phone, store them into your laptop, so that when you do come to write, you've got a whole list of ideas. For example, I was in a writing session last week, I went into my ideas, and there was an idea I had which was alcohol-flavoured regret. I was able to put forward the idea, we plan out the song, and we go straight into that track. It's that easy. It doesn't have to be complicated. So the pro tip is to make sure you've got idea after idea already on your phone, that when you come in to write the song, you're not trying to find ideas. You've already got them stored, and now you're just picking them out of the bag to see which one you actually want to go with. And this quite literally transformed my songwriting. Planning and preparing, just spending that 10 to 20 minutes saved me so many hours of feeling stuck, overwhelmed, writer's block, all of that stuff, because now I know what I want to say, and that's the key thing that songwriters tend to miss. So go and figure out, plan, prepare, and then write. Go and use this in your songwriting. You will see a massive change. I can guarantee that to you. Now, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like, and drop a comment below for any other content that you'd like to see. I've been Danny Boyle here, founder of Songwriters International, and I'll see you over on another video.